is it? Instagram. Here we go. All right, take a look at this.
By the CIA.
Well, before we say Hollywood was created by the CIA, I guess I should clarify because, first off, you guys do know the Pentagon has a budget for films.
I didn't know what I was talking about.
There's a whole department in the
Pentagon. Know that.
That's a fact. There you go. That's all you need to know. There's an entire department in the Pentagon. They get involved with films, and they get involved with films for the purpose of propaganda. They always have.
Hit certain people, and this was before we called things promotion and marketing. You know what I mean? That's Hollywood is not really there to entertain you. Like, that's great that happens, but propaganda is something that is important to all civilizations.
What movies have
I
they
should have
produced?
said Pentagon instead of CIA. Tons of them. I should show you the list. You should pull it up. It's
Google it right
wild.
now.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
Pentagon
please.
Department for Hollywood. Tons of them.
I have to
Even
report this.
Transformers. Even Transformers, like, because they're concerned about certain narratives. They get involved with, like, World War films, like, how are we telling a story about history? Usually it's because we're lying about what we did or trying not to make Americans aware of the crimes against humanity that we commit overseas,
Yeah, the Pentagon has funded some films. Black Hawk Down, Red Dawn, GoldenEye.
The more you know. So now you understand your experience in theaters is what your government wants you to think. They want you to think that this is how things happen, and it's usually not at all how things have actually happened.
6 of the best movies made with help from the Department of Defense. This is military by the CIA.
They are controlling they're controlling how we think. We think that there's only an algorithm with like think about it. If we can talk around our phones about something and then it pops up an ad talking exactly about that, it happens to all of us. You're having a conversation about vacations. Yeah, I want to go to Aruba. Next thing you know, you on Instagram or you on YouTube or whatever, and something pops up, vacation in Aruba, right? We all know that. Very simple. If we know that they have the technology to do that in businesses or just on iPhones and whatnot, do we not think that the government is going to control the things that we look at the most? If they can control what we see on here, do you not think that they're controlling the movies? Do you not think that they're controlling the news? Do you not think that they are in control of all these different things to force us to look at things from a particular lens that they need us to see it from in order to justify certain things that happen throughout the world? We just saw it happen recently with the New York Times. We showed the article, what happened with Israel, when they were saying that some of the people in Gaza had raped, and not to say that this didn't happen. I'm not here to say what didn't happen, but it was actually proven that they put out a news article that these girls were killed, and they were saying that they were raped. They were found with their pants down, and I think it was like semen on them, something like crazy that they put out there. And then the Israeli family came out and said that this never happened. Why are you making up this story? Like, it's enough that our girls in our family were killed, and now you're making up all this other stuff. Why? You don't need to do that. But this is just an example of how now, if you think that happened, if you think that, oh, this group did something so horrendous to this group, then it justifies the retaliation, or it justifies this. We're getting ready to go through it right now with all of these wars. We see it happening all the time. Russia, Ukraine, Iran, Israel. Like, we're actually living in it right now. We're living in it right now. And let me show you, hold on. So when it comes to propaganda, let me stop sharing these so I can share. I want to share this screen with you. We talked about it a while ago. Oh, did I? Okay, I just stopped sharing it now. I just want to make sure that y'all actually saw the Candace one. Let me we talked about this on this show, I believe. I believe that it was still when I was doing the show, the Smith-Mundt Act. I remember going back and forth with it in Myrtle Beach with the family. The Smith-Mundt Act, which apparently repealed like this propaganda. It used to be legal in our country, and I haven't looked at this law in a while, or this policy, so bear with me. But it used to be legal for the country to spread propaganda from U.S. sources, to spread propaganda throughout the rest of the world in order to get the rest of the world to see us in a particular light. That was legal. In, I believe, 2013, the Smith-Munn Act, I believe Barack Obama signed it in. They repealed, hold on, let me just go to it. Hold on. Let me go to it so I'm not telling y'all something. All right, I'm just going to look at this article. I don't know who this article is from. FP, not really sure who this is. But it says U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news to Americans. This is a subtitle. For decades, a so-called, hold on, can y'all see it? Hold on. You can see it right here. For decades, y'all see, U.S. repeals propaganda ban, spreads government-made news to Americans. For decades, a so-called anti-propaganda law prevented the U.S. government's mammoth broadcasting arm from delivering programming to American audiences. Can I say that again? For decades, a so-called anti-propaganda law prevented the U.S. government's mammoth broadcasting arm from delivering programming to American audiences. But on July 2nd, that came silently to an end with the implementation of a new reform passed in January. The result, an unleashing of thousands of hours per week of government-funded radio and TV programs for domestic U.S. consumption in a reform initially criticized as a green light for U.S. domestic propaganda efforts. So what just happened? You guys look into this. Look into it. And maybe I'll read another sentence. Cool. I'll read another paragraph. Until this month, a vast ocean of U.S. programming produced by the Broadcasting Board of Governors, such as Voice of America, Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, and the Middle East Broadcasting Networks, could only be viewed or listened to at a broadcast quality in foreign countries. The programming varies in tone and quality, but its breadth is vast. It's viewed in more than 100 countries and 61 languages. The topics covered include human rights abuses in Iran, self-immolation, not sure what that is, in Tibet, human trafficking across Asia, and on-the-ground reporting in Egypt and Iraq. The restriction of these broadcasts was due to the Smith-Munn Act, a long-standing piece of legislation that has been amended numerous times over the years, perhaps most consequentially by Arkansas Senator J. William Fulbright. In the 1970s, Fulbright was no friend of VOA, Radio Free Europe, and moved to restrict them from domestic distribution, saying they should be given the opportunity to take their rightful place in the graveyard of Cold War relics. This is going to get into a little bit deep, but pretty much go back to the title and look into it, because it's not just going to say, when I looked into the actual Smith-Munn Act, it doesn't come out and just say, yes, propaganda is legal now. We can spread lies to you guys in America. Before we couldn't, now we could. Look into it. Look into it. You may or may not feel the same way that I feel about it, but I think it's very interesting after hearing what Candace Owens just said and what Katt Williams said, because it's not just the news, it's Hollywood, it's everything. We saw what was happening on Twitter before Elon took over and turned it into X. We are being fed propaganda after propaganda, and whether or not we realize it, it just is what it is. I'll give you another example. Hold on, because I gotta go into my messages with this one. I don't want to say who sent this one. Let me put it up. Hold on. Wait, hold up. Hold on 1 second. Maybe it's easier to do it this way. I want you to show. Matter of fact, we'll just hold on. 1 second. Bear with me. I want to show y'all this example. Obviously, I wasn't expecting to show y'all this. But it shows the cover, and maybe you guys have seen this, the differences between the cover of Time magazine with Trump compared to Kamala. All right, I just shared it. So hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find it in my saved. Give me a sec. All right, here we go. All right, share screen. All right, y'all take a look at this. So this came up on the screen. It says, our media is guilty of propaganda. Hold on. There you go. It says, our media is guilty of propaganda, constantly trying to condition you to think a certain way. Look, take whether or not you like Trump, you dislike Trump, like Kamala, dislike Kamala, out of it. When you see certain things like this, you see Trump over here looking one type of way. looks like a monster. Like, took his eyes out, took his nose, just shows his mouth. Obviously not a very flattering picture. Then you see Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris over here looking like, she looking Jesus-like, looking like a goddess. Some people may love that. Some people may hate that. Trump's one. Some people may love it. Some people may hate it. But I'm not showing it to you for that. What I'm showing it to you is to just show how they can position certain things, how we may think that we're looking at things from a objective standpoint. I may think that I'm objective. I may think that I'm looking at things and able to see things very clearly. But what I will say is that when you root so hard for one group over another, to me, that compromises your ability to be as objective. But we're all going to have a certain level of bias. So it is what it is. Let's hold on. Let me hide this. I'm trying to think, do we have enough time to go on to the next video? All right, so we're not going to go on to the next one. What we're going to do, I wanted to play this Kirk Franklin video, but what we're going to do is, all right, we're going to bounce around a little bit. I'm going to show you this situation, that I'll call it, that happened on Stephen Colbert's show. Very funny. I'm getting at these Democrats today. My bad. It is what it is. It is what it is. Deal with it. And it's not even, it shouldn't even be saying the Democrats, but I'm getting at these news stations. Check out this one right here. This is something that happened on Stephen Colbert that a lot of people reported on.
They pat each other on the back and convince each other that. Now, it doesn't matter how much spin the mainly leftist mainstream media puts up, or how much they pat each other on the back and convince each other that they're the great and objective arbiters of truth. The public has a habit of seeing through all this. And I want to share a lovely example of this with you. In the US, the lefty TV host Stephen Colbert was interviewing a TV journalist from the lefty, Trump-hating, Democrat-boosting CNN. They were talking about how Trump was going against Kamala Harris, and Colbert said something that he thought was serious, but even his audience thought it was a joke.
I know you guys are objective over there.
Hold on. And if you recognize her, she was the one that Trump, I think, called nasty during like a town hall that he was doing. So she works with CNN. So just so you know, she works for CNN. And she's being interviewed or on Stephen Colbert's show. He makes a comment and he's being very serious, and you'll hear how the audience reacts.
The audience thought it was a joke.
I know you guys are objective over there, that you just report the news as it is. No, I know. CNN makes a. I know.
Was that supposed to be a laugh line?
I wasn't supposed to be, but I guess it is.
Yeah, it wasn't meant to be a laugh line, but it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna laugh. And what his point is that, we got to be able to see through the BS. Like, these people will literally tell us anything that we want to hear. We got to be able to see through it. So that's just more of a funny one.